Hey everybody, I'm back. So, today I wanted to talk about some techniques for coping with anxiety. It's something that I struggled with the majority of my life and really didn't realize that I actually had control of it. To me, I just assumed that it was something that I couldn't control, that I just had to wait out, that, when it went away, it would go away and I would carry on. And that was the way I coped with it in the past. But recently, I decided to get some techniques and tools to help me get through those situations where I am feeling like I don't have control, like I'm overwhelmed. And I really came up with some really amazing tools along the way with my research. And the first one that I came across is basically when you start to feel that anxiety, you label it, you identify it. There's three different um, things that it could be. It's either negative, neutral, or productive. And it's extremely important to label it immediately. It's a thought. So the moment you see, okay, this is not productive, that's when you realize that it's negative. If it's negative, once you label it negative, you see that it's not serving you. At that point, when you recognize that it's not serving you, you are able to detach from it and you're able to look at it as a situation, a scenario, a negative thought. It's negative thinking. And that's how we self sabotage. That's how we carry pain from the past into the future in fear of, I'm sorry, into the present in fear of what can happen in the future. So it's extremely important to immediately ask yourself with the thought, is it negative? Is it neutral, or is it productive? If it's productive, it's meant to protect you. Meaning you're freaking out because you don't have your bills paid and you may lose your place to live. That's okay to be afraid about that, because if you are not paying your bills, you have no place to live and you have to be accountable. You have to be accountable. If it's neutral, it's just a random thought, it's not doing anything to anybody. Cool. You're able to detach from it then also, because it's not doing anything and you recognize that. But the moment that you recognize that it's negative, okay, this is a limiting thought. This is going to prevent me from thinking clearly, from moving forward, from making my best decision possible. So let's detach from it. And when you detach from it, it's kind of like riding out the wave. It's there, it's moving along, but you're not fighting it. You're not, letting it take you down and drown you. You're not trying to swim through it. You're actually doing your best to detach from it, as if you're sitting at a park and, a family walks by, two people with a dog. Often we people watch and we look at people and we wonder what they're thinking, wonder where they're going, wonder how their relationship is, wonder, where they work, where they live. We start to get involved and invested in them, or we know them and we're, oh my gosh, I know that person. But then there's also where you are able to detach from it and you see them walking by, but it doesn't phase you, it doesn't do anything, it doesn't alter your mood. You recognize it's there, but it's not affecting you in any way. And we can look at traffic and we see all these cars just like darting by. Okay, we see them, but we're not participating in the awareness of them, but we are aware that it's happening. So it's a lot like, the monster under the bed, because there's a monster in there, we're freaking out and we're laying there, we're like, oh my God, and we're not sleeping. But then, we kind of peek down and we're like, you ain't shit. I'm not afraid of you, right? So you face it. So don't just ignore the negative thought, because it's just going to take control and it's going to scare you. It's like ignoring the monster under the bed. It's freaking you out and it really shouldn't be. Just look at it, but don't participate in the negative thinking. That way, you're not basing your next decision for the future on something you're afraid of. Because when you act with fear, not love, you're less likely to do something you're excited about, you're happy about, and the possibilities are more negative than they are positive. So that's my advice today. And those are some tips and tools that I recently come across that I was just dying to share. I hope it helps.